You guys ready to start chapter 8? I think we're ready. Let's do it. All right, chapter 8 of Hank Zipzer's, the world's famous underachiever. Love this guy. It's amazing. But here we go. I covered the phone with my hand and whispered to my dad, "Give me a second, Dad. Which is the answer you're looking for, I promise." My dad wasn't getting the clue that I wanted him to leave. "Robert, you're usually full of information. Any ideas?" "Actually, Mrs. Zipzer, my special knowledge is in the reptile world rather than the rodent world. Although I did a book report on the life cycle of the black-tailed prairie dog, and I found it quite fascinating," he replied. "Yes, Dad," I said, trying to edge him toward the door. "Robert's a snake iguana kind of guy, not a mouse, rabbit, gerbil kind of guy." Boy, did I want to get my dad out of there. We needed to finish the arrangements with cousin Ralphie, and I didn't want my dad to hear anything about the concert until I had the whole plan figured out. I motioned to Frankie with my eyes, but he wasn't getting it. I motioned with my head, and he still wasn't getting it. "Hello," I whispered. "Ding dong, anyone home?" Frankie looked puzzled. Finally, I jerked my thumb toward the door, and I gestured toward the living room, and then toward my dad. "I think you might find the world he's looking for in the living room," I said. That room out there, the one where I'm not talking on the phone." "Right," Ashley said. "Right," I said. Frankie nodded. At last, he was with the program. Usually, he's good at picking stuff up right away, but not this time. "Come on, Mr. Z," he said. "Let's go into the living room. I can always find those synonyms for rodents, and they come to me a lot faster out there because the ceilings are higher," I said. "Yeah," Frankie said. There's more oxygen up there, and it's better for the brain." Before my dad could answer, Frankie and Ashley had him by the arm, and they were escorting him back to the living room. Robert laughed his snorty little nerd laugh, which sounds like a noise of my dog Cheerio. "More oxygen in the living room," he snorted. Hank, everybody knows the number of oxygen molecules per cubic foot varies according to the density of the atmosphere, not the height of the ceiling. "That's so interesting, Robert. I think you should go see if the theory works in your apartment, like now." "But what about Catherine?" he said. "She needs me." "You're absolutely right," I agreed. "Catherine needs you to leave my room. Bye-bye, little man." I basically shoved Robert out the door, which is easy to do because his bony little self doesn't weigh much, more than a pocket rat that's soaking wet. Come to think of it, he looks like a rat soaking wet except without the tail. I put the phone receiver to my ear. "Are you still with me, caller number 15? Cousin Ralphie. What is your name again?" It's Hank Zipzer," I said. "That's a WF fun kind of name. Zippy, but not quite zippified." I laughed. Cousin Ralphie was always so funny, full of words. He must be so amazing. Me, I'm always looking for the next word, the right word, any word. My brain isn't smooth like that. It's more like a dark, rocky cave with words, the thoughts behind every boulder, and I'm there searching around with a flashlight. "Hank Zipzer, here's what you won for your parental unit. They'll be picked up in a limousine, driving in style to Philadelphia. They'll get the red carpet treatment backstage at the Theater of Brotherly Love as they arrive for the Stone Cold Rock concert." Wow, that sounded great. I wish I was going. "At the concert, they'll be treated to front row seats, and we'll still join the band for Philadelphia cheesesteaks and the city's most famous sandwich." My mouth was watering. I could almost taste the cheesesteak as he was talking. "The next day, they'll ride back to New York City in the luxury in the fully stocked band bus. And by the way, and they're into tattoos, we'll make a stop at their favorite tattoo artist who will give them any design of their choice at any part of their body. How does that sound?" "Do they have to do the tattoo part?" I asked. My dad passes out when he gets the flu shot. Cousin Ralphie laughed. "You're a funny dude, Hank. A real zipper-fific." Cousin Ralphie took my number and told me someone would call later to make the arrangements. I thanked him about 158 times. He thought I was just thanking him for winning the trip, but I was really thanking him for making it possible for me to go on to the 5th grade. I hung up the phone and let out a big sigh of relief. For a split second, I had a wonderful floating feeling. Then when all your problems are solved, you get that wonderful feeling when all your problems are solved. But that feeling only lasted for a second, maybe even less, because right away I realized that problem number 2 was waiting for me in the next room. There was my dad, sitting in blue boxer shorts, chewing on a mechanical pencil, hunched on a crossword puzzle, trying to come up with a synonym of the word rodent. How on earth was I going to convince him that he really, really couldn't live without going to see Stone Cold Rock concert? This is not going to be easy. That's the end of that chapter. Make sure you guys are answering the questions and follow along. Can't wait to see you guys in chapter 9. Let's do it.